my own, sorry, I'm Tom Fury, this is Euro News. My own thoughts on the claims about Rupert Lowe's support coming from outside of the country. And then in that report, it was sort of dithering and saying it's highly likely that they come from outside the country. That kind of suggests you've looked at old data and you're projecting that onto this without actually any evidence. Because in the computing world, it's on or off. Yeah, we all know this. It's very binary, and so are these kinds of answers. You either know or you don't. So you try tracking IP addresses, and if there was a bunch of IP addresses from Vietnam, well, then you've got someone. But then you would know that you got someone, and you'd say so. You wouldn't say, it's likely. You'd say, well, no, we've got it. You either got it or you don't. Yeah, so that absolutely says they don't have the proof at all. Otherwise, you would say, well, we have the IP addresses that we need. So there are things that can give VPNs away as VPNs, even if you can't see into them. This is what people don't understand about VPNs and this is why the reason why I think that this claim is even more erroneous than people realise is, so one of the reasons it could be right is since the online safety bill introduced by Mr. Starmer, VPN usage has gone up by over 1,000% and rising. There's a reason for that, isn't there? Obviously, it's because we're being cut off from sites like me. I've been cut off from AI animation sites and stuff like that for reasons of what it could be used for, and not deepfakes either. And so people are struck back. So VPN usage has gone up. So that would give you one explanation, but I'm going to be honest with you. I don't actually believe it's even people with VPNs. Here is why. And that is that unless don't get me wrong, it could be if they absolutely are completely useless at tech and have no idea what they're talking about, then maybe it could be VPNs. But most people with any technical knowledge will, generally speaking, allow or disallow VPNs on their websites. How do you think they do that? If you've ever noticed some websites you go on and you've got your VPN on and they don't work, and then you turn it off and they do work, you've ever wondered why that is? They can see the VPN. They may not know what's going on inside of it. They may not be able to penetrate it, but they can see that it's a tunnel. It's encrypted. So that in itself tells them that there's something in there. So, where am I going with this? So you would know if it was VPN numbers, is my point. You would know if it was VPN numbers. So I don't even think it's people with VPNs, because they should be able to know that. The tech that they've got, it's not that hard, by the way, to tell that someone's on a VPN. Netflix will often now reject it. Amazon will often reject it. Not always, but a lot of companies now will reject VPNs. Even sites you wouldn't think would care. Sometimes it's just built into the website itself by the person that owns the web space, and sometimes they just build it in, and the people don't even know. But yeah, so they choose not to tolerate that. That's that. So yeah, even the VPN reason I don't even think needs to be used as a shield on this, because you can detect VPNs. You can't see through them, but you can detect them relatively easily. Again, they're encrypted. That in itself makes them different from other streams, right? That would have been obvious, right? If there's all the other streams are open and then the VPN stream's got a shield around them, then you'd see the shield. Yeah, see what I'm saying now? So yeah, it's stupid. So, you know, as much as I don't like to knee-jerk too quickly, because again, I've been let down in the past and you never know. One day after he's got a political party going, and to me, it seems more like, here we go. That's what I felt when I saw it, here we go. Don't get me wrong, I keep an open mind, because there's always a chance of betrayal from people, because people are people, but it just looked to me like, again, I said to you just yesterday or the day before, how are they going to handle this? And I think we've got our answer. I think we've got our answer how people are going to handle Rupert coming into politics like this, very badly. But here's what will happen if they're not careful. If they start to try and shit pile him now, all at once, all too early, you get a Donald Trump syndrome happen. People see that, and whether they like you or not, they feel that sense of unfairness. And so if people do try and dogpile him now, I think it will create a reverse psychological effect, and even the people that might not have voted for him. I really do. I think people are sick of being told how to think. So, yeah, you know, again, obviously, if there's compelling evidence, then fine. Then that's something else we would need to speak about. But they, you know, to say it's likely in a case like this, when you're talking about where the members are located, that's not a sentence that should be in a case like this. It's likely as a presumption. Computers, you know, in computing, it's not like, oh, we think it's outside the country, but we're not sure. We need to bring our specialists in to find out. Yeah, it's not like that. It's either in another country or it's not. It's really simple. So don't let anybody pull over the wool over your eyes. It doesn't take the top technicians in the world to work out an IP address, location, and if it's a VPN or whatever else. So that's what makes this fishy to me, is it's a low-tech attack. Not very well thought out, because of that, like I say, using words like likely, we think, whereas really, you should be, if you're going to make an allegation of that, you should be saying we have 100,000 Vietnamese IP addresses, or at least we suspect some VPN traffic that may have originated elsewhere, or something like that. Nothing like that at all. There was actually no technical explanation given. There was not even a hint of an explanation on the mechanic, or how it was done, what was done, even down to what was done, because it's likely. So that really is an opinion, and if it, you know, so sorry about that. Yeah, so like I say, try not to make knee-jerk reactions, because it is a news story, but there's nothing about it so far that says there's any truth in it, because like I say, the technical side of it just doesn't add up. You have the proof, you don't have the proof. It's very simple. You don't need to bring in the fucking MI5 to crack this one. Do you know what I mean? It's very simple. So why the ambiguity? There should be zero ambiguity if you make a statement like that, which wasn't even really a statement, because it's likely, you know. So yeah, I think it's likely that Rupert Lowe got made a political party yesterday, and somebody already had plans to try and undermine him today by making a claim like that about his members. You know, don't get me wrong, I could believe a political party committing some kind of fraud like that, but it's also a little bit too, come on, it's a little bit too in your face, isn't it? Rupert Lowe, like, does he really come across as a second class fucking car salesman? Because that would be a second class trick to pull off, because you would always get caught. So no, No, it's just it's stupidity on a stick. But it was obviously coming. We know how the media are going to respond now and how people are going to respond. So we have our measuring stick, ladies and gentlemen, and workers ahead of us. Tom Fury, 0 News.